everyone. This is Nayo Campbell, and I'm here with the Jasmine Mans, the world-renowned poet who just killed the stage here at Howard University.
Run back to your wedding day and have it all over on the south side. You wake up in the middle of the night and just think that she wasn't the right girl, like you should have found one of them like art type girls. Can you hear all the black kids calling your name? Wondering why the boy who rapped about his mama getting arrested for the sit-ins didn't sit in. Why he traded in his Nat Turner for Ralph Lauren. Do you know how many kids at the protest had your speakers on? None of them.
So first, how are you feeling?
I feel great. When you perform, you kind of get this rush of excitement, this high, and so I feel ecstatic.
Now, as I was doing research about you, I found out that you got your start with poetry.
Scary.
No, it's nothing scary. But you got your start with poetry through the church.
Oh, yeah. My mom used to send me to church, now that I think about it, not saying anything, but my mom used to put me in a lot of church programs because they were free and they took up a lot of time. I could go to church during the week, I could go on church Saturday, Sunday, and so by default I was in like poetry classes and reading classes where we were reading the Bible. And so my first acknowledgement of creative writing came through the Bible. Then I started taking speech classes at the church because they were free and I had something to do. And so then I remember these elder black women just forcing Maya Angelou and Nikki Giovanni on all of us every time. It's like, you're little black girls, Nikki Giovanni and Maya Angelou. And I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to do them anymore. Like, it has to be someone else. It has to be something else. And just being a rebellious kid where you're just like, I just want to go against the grain. So I started writing stuff and words that rhyme. But yeah, it definitely started in the church.
So how do you think you developed your own style, like away from the church, since you got your start there?
I wanted to be more competitive.
Okay.
And so I wanted to be competitive and I wanted to do slam poetry, and so that took on a different style, meaning that, now you have to develop voice. Now you have to develop what your presence is. Then I got to a point, it wasn't until college until high school where I was like, well, what is your message? You know that you can speak, you know that you can rhyme words, but what is your message? What is your intention? And so with that, while discovering my voice and my intention, I realized that I had a unique style that wasn't just simply for the church.
So now, like being, I guess like successful poet, what were some?
It's crazy that people say I'm successful.
You are. Do you not realize, like literally you walked into the building and everyone's like, Jasmine Mans. Like, that's crazy.
No, because I go home and my family's like, are you gonna get a job anytime soon?
Well, that kind of like brings me to my next question. Like, what are some of the issues that you face, like being a poet?
Just no one really understands the value. Not only do they not understand the value, but they do not see the value. And so people think of poetry as a hobbyist thing. And so it is easier for people to ask you to do something for free. Or it's easier for people to think that you don't make any money or to think that you don't have anything. It's easier for people to get over on you. And then there is no specific field. If I wanted to practice medicine, or even if I wanted to practice football, if I wanted to practice songwriting, there is a trajectory for that. Of like, this is the kind of school you should go to. This is the kind of writing retreat you should go on. This kind of training you should get. But there is no like blueprint for how to be a successful poet. So everything is trial and error. And so because of that, people want you to be safe. People want you to be good. And so when you decide I want to be a creative entrepreneur, I want to be an artist entrepreneur, people are like, oh, that's silly. It's not going to make you no money. But the thing about it is that, one, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, God will always take care of you.
Exactly.
Like, no matter what, like, God will take care of you better than you could take care of yourself. And so it's just like, it's not about me taking care of me, it's about God taking care of me. The only agreement we have is that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I think one thing that I realized, like with poets,
you don't hold your tongue, and I know you don't. And I guess like one of your most, I would say, controversial poems was the Kanye poem. I mean, maybe if it wasn't controversial to you, maybe I guess like some people, like Kanye probably was like, hey, I don't agree with this. But what was your, like, you know, we know that it was inspired by Kanye, but what was the exact message that you wanted to get out to folks listening to you?
I'm black, I'm a black girl, and I'm angry as hell at you.
With one of Carol's daughters. Never a Kardashian. But nowadays, even Carol's daughters don't even look African. You look hungry. Like that girl don't make you no fried chicken or macaroni and cheese. Like she don't feel you on the inside.
Like in my mind, it's like I'm sitting in this apartment in Chicago, and like I'm one of his old homegirls that he hasn't seen in like 5 years, and he walked up in my house like, oh, I'm in town. Like, where you been at? And hold on, if we're gonna talk, let's talk. And like that's how I wanted people to feel. So yes, you should feel the bitterness, you should feel the anger, you should feel the sadness, you should feel the angry black woman rising out of that piece, because that is what I'm trying to project in the piece. But then the truth of the fact that like most of these lyrics are yours. That's why you can't call me angry or bitter, because I didn't write it, he wrote it. I just crafted it together. Yeah. I just kind of weaved it together, but I didn't create this.
You were citing his lyrics.
Yeah, I'm literally reciting your lyrics. Yeah. I didn't make all that up.
Were you scared of like some of the reactions that you were gonna get, or no?
No.
You can't be as a poet, huh?
Oh no, absolutely. I was scared of everything else other than this. Like I remember I started getting anxiety attacks when my poems started going on YouTube.
Really?
Because it's scary to see like people digest you and then say whatever they want about you. But with Footnotes for Kanye, I handled that piece with so much care. So I made Footnotes for Kanye my job for 3 months. And I said, okay, write this poem, writing this poem all day, listening to everything Kanye, calling mentors who were rappers, then calling mentors who were poets, then calling mentors who were academics, and hearing everybody's opinions and thoughts on this poem, knowing, oh, don't take those opinions, but take this opinion. Listening to other rapper friends and being like, oh, Jasmine, you said that 3 different times. Like, you can't hate on Kim Kardashian in 3 different ways in the poem. Get rid of this line to make that line stronger. So it definitely took like an incredible creative process that I haven't had with most of my pieces. And then a lot of people heard that poem before it was ever released. And like it mentored me through that poem. A lot of like great like MCs, and then I knew it was golden. Like it's something like, you ever did something that felt so good, that felt right, that felt like God asked you to do it. And like when I wrote that piece, when I knew it was done, and when I knew it was done, I knew it was golden. And I was like, oh, this piece is gonna change the world, or it's gonna shift something. It's gonna hit.
Yeah. It's
gonna hit, and it's gonna be a volcano. Then it was released, and I was like, hold on. I thought I did something magical. You told me that the piece that I thought was one of the best pieces of writing I have isn't? What am I gonna do? Like, what does that mean for me? And then I waited a year. I didn't wait because I thought it was dead by then. But a year passed and it resurfaced.
That's what I was, it resurfaced.
And it tells you like, it's all in God's time, that good art takes time, that like I thought that I was like making a volcano erupt, but no, it was like, no, plant the seed.
Yeah.
And then once you plant the seed, it'll grow. You're not in control of how fast it grows. And the same with my Michelle Obama piece. Invested in the piece. The piece, I think right now, maybe has had 7,000 views. Mm-hmm. That's not a successful amount of numbers in my eyes and my trajectory. And it's gonna be in the canon. And so it's just like, I am about putting poems in the canon. And I'm happy that like people, like scholars, poets, everybody, they're gonna look at Kanye or the Nicki Minaj poem, Michelle Obama, and they're gonna say, these are pieces about black artists that are good, that belong in a literary canon. And so that's my job, to have my book at Howard University 50 years from now, and people studying the work, scholars. Like, that's what it's about.
2050 looking at your book and they're like, whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
And I think that's really interesting about poetry. Like, literally, we can look back and see Langston Hughes' work now.
And he was of this age, younger than
Yeah.
us. And it's just like, it's flabbergasting. It's flabbergasting that these pieces that we idolize, these artists that we idolize, like, they were this age. And so that's why, like, it's so easy for adults to take us for granted, to say, oh, you're young, you're stupid. But, like, the mind that you have now is literally the kids that were marching in the civil rights movement, the people, Langston Hughes. Then you have these sororities that were created by college women, fraternities, college men. These were young people who are, like, it needs time. So, like, that fire that's in your gut, like, that's... My Nicki Minaj poem I wrote when I was a freshman in college. That piece has taken me from Newark, New Jersey to Los Angeles to London, like to Manchester, England. And so, but that was one poem that I wrote because it was a fire from a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And so it's just like whatever like we're not kids, we're not babies, we're not children, these are real fires. This is real passion. And we say, like, when we look at babies that, like, they know a truth. And it's just like, we know a truth. We know a truth that we should invest in. That's powerful. So powerful.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for taking time to sit down with us.
It is my pleasure.
This has been an exclusive. I'm Nayo Campbell, and remember, this is Jasmine Nicole Mans.